Optris now provides you new standard industrial interfaces for all sensors of the CT family, including the CT ratio, CS vision, and even the autonomous XI series. Now, you can integrate our infrared sensors at the state of the art via Ethernet IP, Profinet, or you can use the TCP/IP protocols such as Ethernet TCP/IP or even the Modbus TCP. The TCP/IP communication requires a PC connection. That means the CT laser, our sensor in this case, needs to be connected to the network, which I have done with the calling interface, and my PC is connected to the local network the same. So now all we have to do is to start the software. In my case, let's start to open the software CompactConnect. And as we see here, the standard settings of the software is it is looking for a USB interface. But as mentioned, now we are connected via Ethernet, and that means we have to bring the software into the Ethernet mode. For that reason, we cancel that window and we go to interface and checking the Ethernet mode. So if I do this, you see immediately there is a request of search device, and if I click on search device, we see immediately the sensor appearing. Here we see the sensor, the IP address is given, and this is the IP address of the sensor in our network, which is also important for our other communication ways. I explain later. I confirm the sensor I would like to connect. And here we are, we have a connection, and if I target on my LED lamp, we see a temperature development. So now all features are given as we know from our CompactConnect software. If you want to have a direct connection to your environment via Ethernet, you can use also the internet browser. All you have to do is to open it, and straight in the line you can type in the IP address. So in our case it's the 192.168.49.83. If I just activate it, we see here the CT TCP/IP module, and we see two options. We can show the values of our sensor. So if you pay attention to the temperature itself, and if I move the sensor again, you would see a changing of temperatures if I hit the right target. So we got this temperature values, and we see also the other metadata coming from the sensors. We can also go to the configuration, where now you can even change the settings of the communication from the dynamic host control protocol to a static IP, for instance. You can see what's going on with the sensor. You can read out the settings, you can change the settings and upload it again. So all the communication of standard settings can be done in this way. Another option to communicate with the CT laser via the Ethernet TCP/IP protocol is using our sample file based on Excel. I open this file and we start with the Discover tab. That means we need to create a communication with our sensor. So in our case, there is already a sensor given. But anyway, if not, just click on Discover Device. Oh, and see, here it is. That's our sensor with all the information we may need for further communication. We want to read out temperatures out of our infrared sensor. Therefore, we go to the Read Temperature tab. And now it's important to get connected to the right unit. So here we see all available units connected in the network. In our case, there's only one sensor. And we see the port, which is no need actually to change. And we see the number of values we want to read out. If I click on Connect, now we see 100 values coming to our file. Then it's over. Of course, if you want to have more, let's say 300 values, we connect again. We got a little longer temperature reading, 300 in particular. So as mentioned, this is an example you can use and you can change and you can adopt to your demand. The third tab, Configuration, is also important to see, write and read the settings of the sensor. So again, here we have to go to the drop-down menu. We have to choose the right sensor And now I can read the information, the configuration of the sensor. That means I see the MAC address, the IP mode, which is in a dynamic mode right now. We see the address, the port number, etc. And if you want to make changes, for instance, change the dynamic protocol into a static IP, you can do this like this, and you can write the configuration back to the sensor. That shows how easy it is to communicate with a direct Ethernet TCP/IP communication with our sensors.